Welcome to TFB, the football backpack. Now, hop on, let me carry you to a championship. Now, here at TFB, we try to give you stuff that you don't normally hear on every other podcast. I mean, everyone is pretty much the same, just depending on opinions, I guess. I guess this one too. But here we try to get you a week ahead of everything, a week ahead of waivers, a week ahead of trades, just a week ahead. That way you can actually use it. I don't want to know who is a must add waiver that week because and everybody else is must have. I may not have enough fab. I may not have the right waiver position. I may not have a bunch of things. So I would like to know ahead of time. So I'm going to give you four players. Four players. Four players that you should add this week before they become something. Now, all of them may or may not, they may fizzle out, but you want to have them on your roster just in case. Now, I would have started this with Tre'quan Smith, but because of the injury to Ted Ginn, he's on IR, and what he did in Week 5, everybody's on it now. I've been on Tre'quan Smith for since training camp. I thought he should have started as the number two receiver, and then I thought he was going to just take over because the guy's skill set is that good. Trust me, you want to get Tre'Quan Smith on your team. There is no in between. Get him on your team. All right, so I'm not going to do that or Chubb. We're they're already set in stone. They're already there. If you want to know trades, if you want to know sit start, that's a different story. But getting them on your team at this point, everyone already knows about them. Everyone already knows who they are. So I hate when people do this and they take forever to get to the point. But okay, so here's four players that I think should be on your team this week and probably starting, depending on your roster, depending on your format. Um, Now the first one's going to be a little controversial, but hey, that's what we do here. So the first one, quarterback. Eli Manning is having a better actual football year than Tom Brady. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. So Eli Manning is behind one of the most atrocious offensive line you've seen in quite a while. I think Buffalo, Houston, Arizona, they're all down there. Right? You see what happened to Rosen and everybody else with with a terrible offensive line. So Eli Manning's been sacked 20 times. Now I don't know about you or any other football player or any other quarterback. Once you've been hit that many times, I mean being sacked and hit whatever that many times, you're gonna be a little gun shy. You're gonna have the yips at times when people are open and you're twitching. I don't care who you are, professional or not. So he's been sacked 20 times. Brady's been sacked 8 times. Now, Eli has more attempts and completions than Tom Brady. Eli's QBR is about a 91. Tom Brady's about a 98, give or take 1 point. But that's exactly where they are. Tom Brady has 13 touchdowns. Eli has 6. Tom Brady also has 6 interceptions. Eli has 4. Eli is known for his interceptions, and he hasn't gotten them yet. If you look at the schedule to start the season, um, Eli was pretty good against Jacksonville. Tom Brady wasn't that good. I mean, you look at the opponents faced and the offensive line, and just the system and the coach, and just normal stuff. Eli's been a better quarterback than Tom Brady. Yes, Tom Brady has 13 touchdowns, but I don't chase touchdowns. I chase efficiency and just overall the ability to judge what a quarterback is. Touchdowns are kind of fluky at times because you can throw the ball and the wide receiver gets stopped at the 2 and then the running back runs it in. What does that mean? You should have gotten a touchdown, but he didn't. So, but Eli Manning this week plays Atlanta. Atlanta has given up 3-3-4. Those are the touchdowns to quarterbacks. Last week they gave up 4 to Jameson on his first game back. Now, with everything I said about Eli, his attempts and completion ratings, he's actually doing pretty good. Not as bad as most people would have you think. Eli Manning is in my top 5 quarterbacks this week. 6 through 10, he has the 5th easiest schedule. Next, after Atlanta, they play Washington, and then they go on a bye, and then they play Tampa Bay. I want those bookend types, quote quarterbacks, especially with the bye weeks coming up. I would suggest you getting Eli in the team. Forget everything you've seen prior, especially him getting Engram back. He will do better, and I'm telling you, he's top 5 for me. I don't like the feeling either, but the numbers say that Eli's going to be good. He's going to be really good, considering what he has coming up ahead in front of him, and that's helped by Saquon. So Eli is my quarterback ad. I know Dalton. I know all the other quarterbacks. But I'm telling you, for a guy you could get cheap, that's mostly available in every league, that everybody's been scared away by. Don't be scared. Just go get him. All right. So the next player is a running back, and it's the same matchup as Eli, but on the other end is Ito Smith. Now I've been on Ito Smith for about 4 weeks, simply because in a lot of my leagues I had Freeman. Now when I draft, I tried to draft types of players, and Freeman fit the type that I wanted this year. Sure, now it sounds like McCaffrey, stuff like that. So I have a type that I wanted to be on my team this year. So Ito Smith is, you're going to see a lot of people saying he's not that explosive, he's not that, wow of a back. You're not looking for that. What you're looking for is Atlanta went out and they drafted a guy that's the exact same body type, skill set, and running style as Freeman. He is Freeman's body double. You literally could swap them out, and if one of they had the same number, you wouldn't know who were who. Now the only distinction is Atlanta loves using Ito Smith on the goal line. They just love it. And Coleman's been terrible. If Coleman had not, not caught the touchdown last week at the end of the game, we would be talking about the fantasy community, and all the other experts would be talking about Ito Smith as in a much higher light this week if Coleman hadn't scored that touchdown. Now, Ito Smith is every week he's getting more trust and the offense. And if you pay attention to these games like I do and watch the films like I do, at the end of the game, the last 2 games, Ito Smith has been in the backfield to try to close out games. Now, the previous week, he wasn't in because, well, Freeman started that game and played semi most of that game, but then got hurt. So yeah, I think his carries went from, I think, 7-3, 11. He outsnapped Coleman last week, and when the game was on the line, they had him to start drives. And just in general, his running style is what gets me the most. There are a few backs in the league that I can see that can get 2 yards as easily and as willingly as he does. And this is why I say this, right? On a great offense like Atlanta, you need a guy that can get 2-3 yards because they're going to be in there a lot. And if he's the trusted goal line guy, as he has 3 touchdowns in 3 games, then getting 2 yards every single time will lead them to get you the ball. And so I want a player with that type of upside. Balance, his ability to shrug off a tackle, and you almost get to the ground and pop back up. If you bowl, it's like a pin about to be knocked over, and then boom, it snaps back. That's what he is. Look at his tape. Look at his college highlights. And the reason I'm high on Ito Smith is the Falcons haven't used him for one of the better parts of his game. Every year in college, he averaged 45 catches. The Falcons rarely use him as catches. Now that's because Coleman's been in that role for a very long time. But you'll see Coleman start losing out. If this game goes by and Coleman doesn't pick up his production tremendously, you'll see Ito now being used as a pass catching back as well. Think Freeman. I mean, would you not want a Devontae Freeman in your lineup? So think that way. Think of getting him in your lineup. If he has another good week against the Giants, then everybody's going to say you must add him. Be ahead of the game. Add him on Sunday. Add him tomorrow, rather, this Saturday night, before everyone else. Now, the next guy, every week, I have a bunch of friends that are in leagues, and they need and want and ask for players that no one's paying attention to. and that might do something, whether it be for daily, so they can stack guys and then just throw someone in there for daily. So I have been doing that for years, and they've asked me to do this because I do this for everyone, and it's like just you'll be fine, just do it on YouTube. So I say that to say this: I've been on Damion Ratley of Cleveland. I always say skill and opportunity is what a great player needs, and a player needs to show out. Well, with the injury to Higgins and Callaway being as terrible as he is, Callaway is awful. The guy cannot run a route. The guy cannot catch a ball. He's a body catcher. Body catchers never succeed in the NFL. Never. So as soon as I saw Higgins go down, that was the message I sent them. Ratley, pick him up. So in the game last week, he had 8 targets and 6 catches. Didn't have a touchdown because he was tackled at the 1. Now, full disclosure, this guy gets tackled at the 1 more than anyone I've ever seen on film. In college, I think he was tackled at the 1 4 times. I don't know why, just certain people a certain way. So now imagine if he had made it into the end zone on 8 targets, 6 catches. Imagine if he had scored a touchdown. He would be on everyone's must-add list this week as well. Heck, it's taken Taylor Gabriel this long until he scored a touchdown to be on everyone's, hey, don't sleep on Taylor Gabriel, etc., etc., etc. I'm not a fan of Taylor Gabriel because I'm not a fan of his type of player. He's a PPR type, low-end guy. I don't think those guys win me leagues unless they're getting 14 targets, 14, 12, 10 targets. Those guys don't win you leagues. So I'd pass over those guys. But a guy like Ratley, whose athleticism and speed and ability to catch the ball is insane. That's the kind of guy that wins you leagues because so add him. If you have space, add him. Like I don't know your individual rosters, but he's worth an add. So the next player, the tight end is awful. Tight end is unless you have the top 3, tight end is a crapshoot. Now here I could have added Howard, but I don't know if Howard's abilities and just overall athleticism is beastly. It's Gronkowski-esque. But if the quarterback doesn't love you, I don't care what abilities you have, you are not going to be a top tier guy. Now maybe Winston starts to love him. Who knows? But Winston loves Brady. So which means I can't depend on Howard for that touchdown that a tight end is dependable for. I now have to depend on Howard for regular catches and every down stuff. Winston likes Humphreys, and he started to love Godwin, so I can't make that suggestion. He's good as a fill-in. He's a beast of an athlete, a beast of a man, but I can't make that. But the player I do want and love is Engram. He's been out. He's been out with an injury, but Eli loves his tight end. Not only that, he loves tall players. Shepard and Eli are not tall. They've struggled in the red zone because they don't have a guy they can just throw it up to. Engram gets 7 to 9 targets a game. Now last year he had 6 touchdowns. It should have been like 10. But he had some awful drops and ran some crappy routes. Learning curve. But this guy, I mean, going into this year, I wasn't a fan of where people was drafting him. But ever since he's been hurt, when people get hurt, people out of sight, out of mind type thing. But get him. The run that the quarterback, I say Eli's going to go on, it's the same run that Ingram's going to go on because Eli loves his quarterback. So these are players that I think you should add to your team before Monday, if your team allows that because the Giants play in Atlanta. But I like to get ahead of the curve. This week I have my list of people who I think should be added. I've already set that out. I'll probably do a video maybe late tomorrow on players. I know it's kind of a little unfair, but hey, I like my guys to get a leg up first because they've been asking me for 3 years for this kind of stuff, and I've been giving it to them. It's great. So, welcome to this is the fantasy backpack. We just carry championships in our backpacks. Sometimes we carry L's, but more championships than L's. So hop on, let me carry you to a championship. Subscribe, hit the notification button, comment, let me know